the pressure here. And that's something that I want to talk about, too, as part of this. Yes?
I'm kind of curious when the plane landed at the airport and you were accosted for the second time. Were your relatives waiting for you at the airport? Did they see what was happening to you, or were you able to contact attorneys or anybody that would assist you?
No. As a matter of fact, my quick answer is no, because I don't know, have you ever been to the airport there? People who comes to pick you up, you will never see them, nor they will ever see you. But my mom, remember, was with me. So my mom was the person who informed, the rest of the family and so on. But one of the things that I would like also to stress here is that, and that's also a good question, is like, I always tell people, get involved. It is very important. You know what? Anyone in DC, and I meet with them. I go myself, the organization, we have a board. I don't do everything myself. There's no way I can. It's not a one-person organization. I do have a board, and they are all over the United States, and also I have 3 board members that are back in Palestine also. So they all work. They all do their job. Okay, but it is important when I meet with Congress members or Senate, or even I go sometimes to meetings at State Department. It's weird. Sometimes I say, I rather work with the administration than Congress, to be honest with you. Even though they might tell you, hey, well, I'm not going to agree with you, but it's much easier to work with the administration than Congress, really. I'm not saying all Congress members like that, but some of them, I decided I don't want to even waste my time dealing with them. Some of them, there's no way. So anyway, so what happened during that time also, we continue the fight to get my identity back. And as a matter of fact, after all these years, and after all the money for lawyers and courts and so on, guess what? I got it last year. And for that reason, I ended up going last year back to Palestine. Since as I said, the last time, 1998, and I was detained. But since then, my next, visit was last year. So one thing that I would like to say is that, as Palestinians, I always tell people, we are no different than any other people or nations or anything. We are people who wants to live in peace. We are people who wants to govern ourselves. We are very educated people, and we know that we can really grow, I will use that term, a great independent state. Okay? The sad thing is that sometimes you see like reactions by this government or that government, again, that is not really or should not be the reaction. And I will give you examples. I don't know how many of you heard the news yesterday. Fatah and Hamas decided to unite. Okay, that's a great news for me. As a Palestinian, I want all Palestinians to be one hand. All Palestinians should be one hand, for very simple reason, because we all are under the Israeli occupation, and that's very important. That's a very important thing for us. Now let's look at the reactions. Well, I don't know how many of you heard Netanyahu. He said, okay, well, you have to choose. Either you make peace with us or make peace with Hamas. Guess what? You know what I will tell Netanyahu? Hey, Netanyahu, listen. Either you make peace with Palestinians or continue to build your illegal settlements. There is nothing in between. Either you make peace or you continue your illegal activities. And guess what? We as Palestinians will never give up a 1 inch of what I will call Palestine. And for me, and that's very important, for me, I have to, again, clarify that, because as an organization, if you remember, I said, there is no such a thing called peace unless we have justice. And justice, for me as an individual who represent an NGO and also an organization, means different things. Number one, it means that we as Palestinian people has to govern ourselves. That's given. Number two, we as Palestinian people needs to have East Jerusalem as our capital. There's no one, and I will tell them, they have been trying for years and years and years. They will never find a Palestinian who will bargain 1 inch of any of these red, what I will call, lines. No one can go beyond that, okay? So that's very important. Justice means for us that the right to return. Some of you might say, well, how can you say that? Well, guess what? The Israelis created this problem. Ethically, they have to be responsible to solve that problem too. That's what justice means for me. There is no way you can go to the almost 6 million Palestinians who lives all over the world, and half of them almost in camps, still in camps in Jordan and in Syria and in Iraq and in Kuwait and say, hey, you know what? Forget about Palestine. You cannot go back to Palestine. There's no way. No one can say that. No one. But on the other hand, when we as the United States say, okay, well, we encourage the Israelis to build their Jewish state, simply we are encouraging them to discriminate. And that's very important. We are encouraging them to be an apartheid system. You know, the apartheid system fell in South Africa and is still there in Palestine till today. Unfortunately, when the US government say that we are against Israeli settlement, okay, put that into action. I don't expect you to go into Security Council and veto a resolution that condemns this action. These are very important things that we have to keep in mind when we work again. If we want justice, let's have justice for both, okay? And that's very important. And justice for both means a lot of things. I want to live in peace with the Israelis. I'm not saying I don't want to live. I'm not denying that they have to exist or not exist. I'm not talking about that. We are a human being. God created all of us, okay? But if I am not getting my rights, and all the time I see that the Israelis are getting more and more money, more and more military assistance, more and more green lights to continue to confiscate more Palestinian lands of even 1967 area, to build their illegal settlements, to build their apartheid and hate wall that they are doing like all over and circling every city. I mean, that's not justice for me, nor justice for any Palestinian, nor justice for anyone who understands what justice means or who stands for human rights and stands for a human, again, a human being. So these are very important things that we have to keep in mind when we talk about, you know, peace. Yes, my ultimate goal is to have peace, but not any peace. There's a huge difference between having peace and just any peace. I want peace that comes with justice. Otherwise, I don't want that peace, to be honest with you. Yes?
I feel that the real reason why Israel is doing what they're doing now is because, first of all, they have a small border. It's a very small country with very few resources, if any at all. Their population is constantly growing. They have no place to go. They're overpopulated. And so they're, by force, forcing themselves out. Now, supposing there is a real peace agreement and an understanding that Israel will return within its borders, where are all those people going to go? Is there any solution for that? Because I'm sure that's going to be a main sticking point.
I'd like to thank you for the question. You know, there is no magical solution to the conflict. We understand that. It's a conflict that has been in existence for more than, you know, since not even 1948. As a matter of fact, the conflict started way before that too. I didn't talk about that, okay? But there is no magical, again. But I think if you have the well and determination to be honest about achieving a just and lasting peace, everything can be solved. But it needs, first of all, a courage, and one important thing, it needs also people who say enough is enough, because guess what? This side and the other side are, as a matter of fact, are suffering. You know, I think if I'm on the Israeli side, I will understand that this wall is not going to bring me peace, nor security, to be honest with you. Because how can you bring a peace and security by creating a wall like that separates people from each other? So how can you achieve that? So I think it takes courage, will, and determination in order to do this. I agree with you. It's not an easy issue. It's not something that can be solved like that. I would love to, if it's the case, but it's not. And as I said, you know, we have been doing, you know, all this kind of work. I have been working with, you know, the U.S. Congress. Board members have been, the U.S. State Department. We are working with the Palestinian side. As a matter of fact, in my visit last year to Palestine, I had different meetings. I met with the President Mahmoud Abbas, Chief Advisor for International Relations. I met with him several times. I met with the President Mahmoud Abbas press secretary. I had meetings at the Palestinian Foreign Ministry. I was, as a matter of fact, even offered, they even asked me to think about, you know, accepting a job in the diplomatic arena with the Palestinian. I turned this down for right now. I'm sure in the future we will maybe do something like that. We'll see. But these are things that I encourage each one of you to be involved. You know, if you are not involved, guess what? Someone else will be involved, not you. Okay? And if you want your voice to be there, again, it's important for you to be involved. I'm Democrats. I serve on the Democrat Central Committee for the Muscatine County and for the 2nd District. As a matter of fact, I talk a lot to my congressman from 2nd District, Dave Lobsack. We talk a lot about this issue, as a matter of fact, but you know, it's important because I decide I want to be involved, because unless I get involved, and we encourage people to get involved, you cannot achieve much, especially in a conflict like that. I mean, and that's very important. At this point, one of the things that I would like to do is I would like to share with you the website. Just show you a couple things that you can go, and if you visit the website, a couple things that you can get as a result of that. I do have my business card there. You have the website there on the business card, my contact information, email, everything there also. So you can also share that, you know, with me anytime you want. And the website, as you see, we are still working on that. We're not done. We used to have different website, but we thought like, okay, well, it's time to be more and look more professional for an organization that has almost 9,000 members now. And I'm very proud to say that we have this many members in, again, almost 11 years now. So we are working. You don't see a lot of things yet there. A lot of the contents are not there yet, and we are working on that, as you see. But if you go on the website there, for example, if you go to here, AMPAL, for example, you can read about our beliefs. If you click on About, it will give you an idea about our beliefs and our principles for just peace. And remember, I started to talk about these issues here. So this is really what we stand for. Again, you can go and look into that anytime you want. If we have petitions, you will see there. You can read about our board members. You can sign our guest book if you want. Send us any message there. As a matter of fact, I was telling, I think, Mike before, based on my visit last year to Palestine, and based on meetings with the heads of different NGOs in Palestine, I went back and shared the story with the board members. I noticed that they have really a lot of acceptance for us to go and open an office there. I am going this summer for that purpose. I will be going there to open an office for AMPAL in Palestine, mainly in Ramallah. At that point, of course, we're going to hire someone to take care of the office. It will not be different organization that AMPAL here, but the work will be different. Our work here is more politics. We lobby. We go and try to educate people about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. But there it will be more social. We're going to work on different social issues. For example, mainly education. We're going to partner with some organizations. As a matter of fact, I'm looking forward to go back and continue work with an organization called Give Palestine. And Give Palestine, the CEO or the president of that NGO, her name is Amal. I mean, I don't know if you heard of Nabil Shat. Nabil Shat's wife is the one who is the president of this organization. They do a lot of social programs, from like donating books in different schools, libraries, and so on, to even creating like small chairs and tables for kids in kindergarten and preschool to teach them how to read, how to write, and so on. So that will be part of our work really in Palestine as a result of opening this. I look really forward to open this office there and be there too, and definitely select the right people to manage the office there again and do that work on the organization's behalf. And remember, as I said, we do have some board members there too. So they will be also taking care of this issue too. On my visit to Palestine, and you can read about it also here, but as I said, a lot of news is still not there. But here, for example, you can go history of Palestine, any kind of document, United Nations or Security Council documents, you will find that there. Since we are affiliated with the United Nations, so we get all these documents, and we try to load them there. Culture, I always tell people, you know, I'm a kind of person who likes to cook. I love to eat, I love to cook, so even I thought like it would be nice to even have recipes to share with people, Middle Eastern recipes. So if you like to try any, go there and get some, and let me know what do you think about those recipes. So that's another thing. Multimedia, here you can have picture files, you can have videos. The videos that we are downloading are more like videos that you see, like for example, and well, not done yet, I think we loaded around 25, 30 videos, but we have a lot yet, and it's taking some time because, as I said, we are now changing the website as a result of that, so it's a lot of work. So if you go to videos, for example, you will see, for example, you can watch that. I was on Good Morning Palestine, the Palestinian TV in Palestine here, 14 minutes, but it's an Arabic interview. So if you know Arabic, you can watch that too. If not, you know, contact me and I will try to give you an idea about what I talk about. I am well involved with the sister city organizations. I have been also the president of Muscatine Sister City organization, which is the most active chapter in the state of Iowa for 14 years. And this year, well, we are celebrating 25 years. And as one of the things that I did is I have been, and it has been like a dream for me, is to get Ramallah, my hometown, to become a sister city with Muscatine. And I did this. When I was there, I officially extended the invitation to the mayor and the city council. I attended their meetings. They accepted our invitation, and they decided to join. We are signing the official agreement in June, as a matter of fact, and in June we become like a sister city too. You can see some of my meetings here when I went to lay the wreath on President or late President Arafat also. So you can see some of these videos, some of my interviews, TV interviews and so on there. But as I said again, we're not there yet. A lot of things are not there yet. News, the same thing. If you want recent articles, specials, archives, or everything here, you can contact us. Also, some links, some organizations that we work with. I do have, and I really would like to say that, I do have a partnership with Israeli organizations that works for peace, again, and we contact each other, we talk about things, we try to organize our activities together sometimes. One of my good friends is Jeff Halver. I don't know if you heard of him or not, but they had like a big program on Al Jazeera last night about the demolishing of the Palestinian homes. And almost 60% of the program was with Jeff. So the Jazeera interviewed him, and he was talking about, the demolitions of the Palestinian homes and all in order to build more settlements and in order to build the apartheid and hate wall and so on. So we do work with them. Again, we are ready to work with anyone who will believe or agree with us on our beliefs as a minimum. Again, let's face it, as I mentioned before, we are not denying the existence of Israel, but also we expect them not to deny our existence. And I think, again, you asked me a question before, it takes leadership, it takes will and determination in order to achieve this. But with the right-wing Israeli right now, and with the right-wing Israeli government, of course, it's hard to achieve that. Really, to be honest with you, it's hard to achieve that. We will hope that one day, at least, for our kids, one day the whole area and the whole place will start enjoying peace, because you know what? What's the alternative to peace? I mean, just think about it. The alternative is more destruction and more killing and more blood and more misery. And I think both sides, at least, from the Israeli side, I mean, I communicate with with peace movement people. I mean, they are sick and tired. They are ready. I mean, it's time to solve, and we're hoping that the Israeli leadership will reach that consensus, because as I mentioned before, you can build millions of walls, okay, thinking that these walls gonna save you. But guess what? Think about it. They are building walls, they are not saving. Those walls are not saving nor giving them any security. As a matter of fact, they are creating more headache, because think about it. Really, if you think about it. Now, they are circling every settlements in the West Bank area with a wall. Guess what? They're putting themselves in a prison. Same way they are putting us in a prison. Because if you live in Ramallah, you cannot go. I went to Ramallah last year, as I said, after all these years that I was allowed to go there. But you know what? I felt really bad because, I couldn't leave Ramallah. I was in Ramallah, but I couldn't leave Ramallah. I couldn't go, for example, to Jerusalem. There's no way I can. Because in order to move from city to city, you have to get an Israeli permission. And it took me almost a month and a half to get my ID now back. Because I went there to get that ID so that I get my citizenship there back. And so simply what happened is, like, I spent the time running around plus meetings and so on. So I couldn't even, I couldn't go. And it's sad because you go there and you see a wall and you think it's like, wow, I cannot believe that we are still thinking or still having this kind of mentality that we think that this wall might bring us security. I always say that this wall brings hate. That's why I call it a hate wall, not really a wall of security or something like that. So as I said, we do different things. I definitely encourage you to get involved. Contact your congressman, Senate, senator, State Department, contact the media, write. It's important. Write articles. Send them to even here, local